Square Enix have been busy of late building up some big releases. From the just released Deus Ex Mankind Divided that I covered at launch, the forthcoming epic Final Fantasy 15 that will be a monumentous launch in November for Xbox One and PS4, and of course the PS4 Pro mode included. This long run of big titles really kicked off though with last year's return of our heroic Oxford lass Lara on Xbox One and PC. PS4 players may have been left out in the cold looking in, albeit with some other distractions to ease the pain. But the wait is finally over, and around 1 year later, give or take, PS4 players now get the chance to play a refined, improved and expanded package, all in time to celebrate 20 years of the adventure-loving heroine, which itself also comes preloaded with a PS4 Pro mode that really sets the men from the women. Now, before I dive headfirst into what this new package delivers over the base release, I should also add that some of these updates will hit the PC and Xbox One release this week, namely the Blood Ties Mana mode and Lara's Nightmare from the zombie hordes. Other sections like the co-op survival mode will not be free for all though, but they are all included and more in this new PS4 release to help ease the pain of the 12-month delay. Now, with the Xbox One version already cementing itself as one of the most beautiful looking games on the console and this generation thus far, nothing has changed to lessen the game's impact on Sony's flagship machine. A native 1080 is delivered here, visual effects all appear identical from my early look at the game, from the high levels of shader specular created from the abundant light sources, high quality asset work on textures covering clothing, walls and tapestry, and obviously the high sample per object motion blur. All enhanced with additional shader passes with subsurface scattering on skin, tress effects on Lara's hair, dynamic wind and tessellated snow deformation. Decals show the impact of the journey across characters, leaving bloodstains, bruises, clothes become wet, dirty and dry again, depending on the environmental impact, which all helps immerse and cement you into the world far more organically than before. I will be covering the game and Crystal Dynamics' own Foundation engine in far more scrutiny in a forthcoming video, and how this release compares to that, the PC, and of course what we can expect in next month's PS4 Pro release, that is already tantalisingly present on this very disc. But for now, I will cover the basics of the game, extras and performance as we mark 20 years of Lara legacy. Now, with the Xbox One title already running a close match to the PC high settings with a 1080p in-game resolution, you can learn more from that on my analysis of the PC release and Xbox One at launch. Now, some may expect some extra benefits here, with that version hitting a solid 30 FPS at most points in the game, with only mild tearing in some of the heavier sections like the Volcanic Valley and geometry heavy hair centric cutscenes that bump up the shader passes on skin, eyes with muscle and skin deformation animation rigs, really highlighting the talent at the studio and the scope of the engine. This release, like the PC and PS4 Pro mode, was not handled directly by Crystal themselves though, but rest assured, this is in very safe hands, with Dutch code and talent Nixis delivering the goods here, and as always, they have not disappointed. They handled the PS4 version of the reboot at the start of the generation, along with last month's PC release of Deus Ex and many more, including the forthcoming Pro modes that are already here. They have long established a relationship with Square Enix and Crystal, and have a great working knowledge of their methods, engine and tools. Now, this is instantly evident from the opening moments of the game, as it looks and runs without any issues from my first few hours. But bear in mind, this is the pre-patched version. I didn't really have time to download a 3 gig install, so I'm not sure what that offers, but I will update that in my forthcoming video. Frame rates still target 30Hz, but now appear to hold VSync consistently, with no tearing present from my early tested sections. But it was always a solid performer on the Xbox One, and with only really struggling the more towards 60Hz the game targets on more powerful PC hardware. With similar settings to the Xbox One, it runs very close to 60Hz pretty much all the time on my RX 480. Now, this is a bonus feature left exclusive to the PS4 Pro version, more on that later. It all appears to be a solid and commendable port from its origins to the PS4 hardware and API without any huge issues, and to be honest, benefits over that release on a visual basis, but it still suffers from some of the post effects which can soften the image ever so slightly. But these all appear to be the same level of detail as the X1 release, and as such, just below the higher level that the PC release has for higher VRAM cards. Now, performance is also improved with any dips below 30 from that spline hair now removed, or at least resolved. But this was never a large issue before, but welcome nonetheless. Now, on top of the base game, you also get the Zombie Nightmare mode to keep yourself alive and kicking, and in addition to the Blood Ties mode that gets unlocked early into the single player adventure. This allows you to explore Croft Manor and is playable on the PS4 and in VR mode with the PSVR, that I shall be covering this weekend as mine has arrived today for testing. We will have much more on that and the new mode shortly. So we have a solid and slightly enhanced version of last year's epic adventure that now has some other modes and DLC content added into the pack, including options to play as old school Sat and Lara, which is just uber cool. Now, it still has more to offer, and this is not even its final form, with the embedded Ps4 Pro mode waiting to be unleashed that has 3 modes from 4K to 1080-60 targets, and obviously a higher visual quality mode in between that. Now, this will be a treat to examine once my Pro turns up next month, and you can all check back then for an in-depth look at what the new machine offers and how it enhances Lara's best assets. But you do not have to wait that long, as I will be back soon with a detailed look at Lara's rise on PS4 and just how it stacks up to Xbox One and PC, as I go further inside the Foundation engine. And probably Lara's Croft Manor. So, as always, if you enjoyed this or anything else that I've put together and you enjoy my channel and my work, then please help support me and subscribe, which really helps me immensely, and I appreciate everyone that does. Please share where appropriate and leave all your thoughts and feedback below. You take care, and I'll see you on the next one.
This is madness. Get your life sorted. Go home to the manor.
You know I can't go back there.
But this obsession ruined your father.
I saw something. Something I...